The movie wasn't always called Child's Play. It began as Batteries Not Included and was eventually changed to Blood Buddy after Steven Spielberg made a movie with the same title. Chucky was also originally named Buddy. The chant Charles Lee Ray uses to transfer his soul is in Haitian Creole. It's roughly translated as "To the Almighty Damballa, give me the power I beg of you. To the mercy of my soul. To the point of my death. Hear me out of from my condemned voice." Chucky originally was going to have a pretty unique feature. Back when the film was going to be called Blood Buddy, the doll was going to have latex skin and bleed when it was cut. It would require the kids to get bandages for their doll friends. This plays a big role in the original script. The movie was way different when Don Mancini first wrote it. Andy was going to do a blood pact with the doll, and the doll would then attack people who Andy felt had wronged him. His babysitter, his dentist, and his workaholic single mother were some of the original targets of Andy's rage. He was not originally supposed to be the reincarnation of Charles Lee Ray. Charles Lee Ray was derived from the names of three killers. Charles Manson, Lee Harvey Oswald, and James Earl Ray together created the human nightmare. There was no CGI used in the first Child's Play. Chucky was done with animatronics and real people. One scene was even done with Alex Vincent's Andy, little sister dressed up like Chucky. John Franklin, known for being Isaac Croner in Children of the Corn, was also credited as being Walkabout Chucky. Ed Gale was also used to make Chucky move in most of the movies, being credited as Chucky stunt double in the first film. There have been two real murders where Child's Play has been cited as an inspiration. The 1992 murder of 16-year-old Suzanne Capper was one of them. Suzanne was tortured by 4 people, while quotes from Child's Play were used to taunt her. Remember kids, it's just a movie. Child's Play was adapted in 1990 and again in 2007 into comic books. The 1990 to 1992 comics were adaptations of the first 3 films. Brad Dourif was almost not the voice of Chucky. He was the first brought in to do the voice of Chucky, but when it came time to do the automated dialogue replacement, he was busy with another film. They replaced him with 2 guys who didn't make Chucky threatening, they made him funny. Luckily, the test audience hated it, and Brad was brought back in. Simon Stokes and Joe Renzetti wrote an original song for the ending credits for Child's Play. They removed it because they felt it was too silly for a movie with a killer doll. After writer John LaFia retweaked certain parts of the script, the people behind Child's Play felt confident enough to meet with directors. Tom Holland initially passed on the project, but he eventually agreed to direct the film. At the time, Tom Holland was most known for directing Fright Night. Before Holland signed on, however, there were other directors that Don Mancini and producer David Kirshner talked with. Kirshner revealed that he talked to William Friedkin, director of The Exorcist, as well as Irvin Kershner, director of The Empire Strikes Back. While Child's Play is one of the most famous films featuring an evil doll, one element of the original film has always been odd: the voodoo. When Charles Lee Ray transfers his soul into a good guy's doll, he uses a voodoo ritual to do so. It's always been sort of a weird origin story, one that the filmmakers of the remake decided not to use. That being said, Don Mancini was never really a fan of the voodoo plotline. Writer John LaFia says it wasn't his idea though, saying his original idea was to have an inmate on death row transfer his soul into a good guy's doll as he was being executed. While animatronics and CGI are commonly used today, they were both up-and-coming technologies when Child's Play was being filmed. The majority of the scenes were filmed with an animatronic puppet, but it wasn't the easiest thing to use. It took 11 different people to control Chucky, with a different person handling each part of his body to his legs to his eyebrows. Special effects shop supervisor Howard Berger once recalled it took them 27 takes to just get Chucky to hit a button to electrocute a doctor. Chucky's aluminum fingers would often poke through the latex fingers, which ultimately started eating up costs. While an animatronic doll was used for many of the scenes, some of the more complex scenes were filmed using Ed Gale. The effect was pulled off by building the sets 30% bigger, but most people can still tell someone is behind the Chucky mask. Gale was also the actor to wear the Chucky costume when they had to do fire sequences. Each take with fire would last around 45 seconds, but the actor got more injured when he needed to be pulled up a fireplace for a shot. The crew pulled the actor up, but accidentally dropped him 6 to 8 feet, which injured his back. Today Brad Dourif is most known for the role of Charles Lee Ray and the voice of Chucky. Dourif has voiced Chucky in every Child's Play movie to date, except for this year's remake, where he was replaced by Mark Hamill. Since the voice of the demon in The Exorcist had been by Mercedes McCambridge, Tom Holland thought they should go with a woman for the voice of Chucky. As Holland described it, "I tried to use an electronic overlay to the voice, like a Robbie the Robot kind of thing, because that's how the toys with sound chips worked." When it came time for Mancini to see the first cut of the film, it was Jessica Walter's voice heard instead of Dourif's. Ed Gale played Chucky for some of the more complex scenes of the film, while animatronics were used for the majority of close-up shots. However, Alex Vincent's sister dressed up as Chucky to film one scene. She can be seen in the movie as Chucky when the killer doll is chasing Maggie down the hallway. It's unknown why she was chosen, but it was likely because Gale looked too big to be a doll when running behind the actress. Tom Holland is mainly known for his work in the horror genre and actually has more acting credits to his name than directing credits. Tom Holland also appears in Child's Play, sort of. Holland has 2 cameo roles of sorts, one being the host of the Good Guys program, but you can only hear his voice. Andy Barclay's dad isn't present in the movie, but a picture of his father can be seen briefly inside Karen's room and Andy's room. The man in the photograph is none other than Tom Holland. Oscar nominee Brad Dourif has become synonymous with the Chucky doll over the years, having provided his intense vocals in every film to date, and played his fleshy incarnation in the original. Dourif laid down all of his vocals in advance so the doll's lips could be perfectly synced with his dialogue, but it was almost somebody else delivering it. John Lithgow, the star of Bigfoot and the Hendersons, Cliffhanger and Third Rock from the Sun, is said to have been considered for the lead role before it went to Dourif. There's no telling how that would have turned out, but Lithgow proved himself a more than capable voice actor when he provided the vocals for Lord Farquaad in Shrek. Meanwhile, the part of Chucky's nemesis Andy almost went to Robert Hy Gorman, who later played Alex, the little kid in Leprechaun. Rapper Bushwick Bill is a huge Child's Play fan, so much so that he's adopted the persona of Chucky while recording various songs and has a long-standing association with the killer doll. The former Ghetto Boys vocalist channels his inner Charles Lee Ray on the tracks Chucky and Chuckwick, both of which include sound samples from the movies. Bushwick Bill is also known to carry a good guy doll on stage during his concerts. It seems Chucky can't resist a good gate crashing when he has a movie to promote. In the run-up to Curse of Chucky's DVD release, Universal superimposed the killer doll into a number of other classic horror films so he could steal the show. The movies he invaded included The Purge, Mama, Drag Me to Hell and Psycho, leaping into the latter's famous shower scene to kill Janet Leigh with the help of a stepladder. This was a more successful publicity stunt than the Saturday Night Live one, mostly because Brad Dourif did voice the character on this occasion.